Hey everybody, welcome into the lawn here. It's a Saturday morning. I'm just doing a little walk through the yard and I want to discuss a few little fall tips that you can do to improve your lawn for next season. Now it's been a long season. We're at the end of October here in Indiana. Things are starting to wind down. The weather's starting to get cooler. So I'm going to give you 4 tips here on what you can do right now to set your lawn up for success next spring. Stay tuned. Now it's been a long season here in the Midwest, and specifically for cool season lawns, fall is a great time to set yourself up for success next season. Now the first thing you're going to want to do is try to clean up your leaves and get those off the lawn. Now you can see back here, I did that the other day. Now the key tip here is that you want to get these leaves off of your lawn. Now there's a debate between mulching and removing. I always tell people, if you can see grass through the leaves, try to mulch them up, get them down into the ground. That's going to serve as excellent fertilizer for next season and really help give you a natural boost to the lawn. Now, if your lawn is entirely covered and you can see no grass through those, I wouldn't recommend mulching those. You're going to want to try to remove those. Now, it doesn't have to be perfect. Get as much as you can off of there to where you can see grass and then mulch the rest, but try to get the majority off. Now, you can see, like I showed you here earlier, I had a bunch of leaves out here, so I did a cleanup out here and then mulched the rest in yesterday. And then we'll just keep at it until the leaves are done for the fall. Now the second tip I'd have for you guys is to start lowering your height of cut. So we're at the end of October here, season's starting to wind down. Watch the weather. I know here for Northeast Indiana, this is our last little stretch of nice weather. So what I'm going to do coming next week when things start hitting freezing temperatures at night is I'm going to start lowering this height of cut. Now typically I'll mow between 3 and 3.5 inches. This year I've experimented down to 2.75 inches. I've used the Luba because it mows at that height, and I've also done that with my Time Master. So currently I'm maintaining at 3 1/4 on the Time Master, just trying to maintain these leaves and stuff. But as the weather starts to slow and you get in that last cut or two of the season, I'll drop that down. Now what this is going to do for you is keep that grass short. And here in the Midwest, you know, we get a lot of snowpack usually in the winter, and the shorter grass you have, especially if you have kids out playing in the lawn in the snow, it's going to keep that grass to where you're not going to get it matted down and hopefully help out with not getting snow mold and issues coming out of winter into next spring. Now the third and probably most important step that I would recommend here is now is the prime time to fertilize your cool season lawn. You want to use up what you have. So if you have extra fertilizer in your garage, depending on what it is, put it down. Typically I like to use a starter fertilizer in the fall just to set it up for next spring. But if you have other stuff laying around, basically you're going to want a high nitrogen boost is what most people aim for. It's not a necessity to do that. This year I used up the rest of what I had from Turf Titan in relation to Thatch Buster, Lawn Commander, and I used up a little bit of the Lawn Striper that I had left. So I put that down on the lawn probably a few days ago. Now you can fertilize up until the ground freezes here in Northeast Indiana. So that'll be typically after those temperatures start to fall. You'll notice the ground temps will take a little bit to freeze up. So put that down to where it can dissolve in with rain, because most of us have our irrigation off, hoses pulled in with the cold temps. But get that stuff down on the ground, and like I said, you can do it until the ground freezes to make sure it gets into your soil and it's going to store over the winter. Now you don't want to do this too soon. We're in a prime time to do this because you don't want that grass using up all those nutrients before next spring. What it's going to do is it's going to get those nutrients down into the soil and it's going to store for next spring, which is why you'll see that early green up come next spring. So fertilization is key in the fall. Use what you got in your garage, and if you don't, just go with a simple starter fertilizer to set yourself up for success. Now my fourth and final tip is going to be keep mowing until it stops growing. Kind of a catchy little slogan, but easy advice to follow, and it's going to set you up for success next season. And just keep mowing that grass. So sometimes I've mowed into late November around Thanksgiving. Sometimes it's over by the first week of November. The weather is going to determine when this is. It's not a hard, fast date, but you're going to watch that grass. You're going to keep mowing, especially if you're fertilizing. It might take a little longer until that happens, but usually it's until the ground freezes. So whenever our ground freezes, is when the grass is going to stop growing. What you're going to want to do is, like I said earlier, keep mowing it, drop that height of cut on your last cut or two, usually a notch or so what you would normally mow. So for me, I'd go from 3 1/4 to 2.75 on my Time Master. For you, that might be a little different, but that's going to help you over the next season to make sure that you're not getting a lot of top growth after the last time you mow your yard, and then you'll have a bunch of matting down or snow mold or issues depending on what kind of snow we get, snowpack coming into next spring. Now, if you follow these 4 tips, it's going to ensure that come next spring, you're going to be set up and ready to go. You're going to have less issues with matted down grass, possible snow mold issues, which you want to avoid at all costs. And with that fall fertilization, your lawn's going to bounce back, and hopefully you'll have a leg up on your neighbors that will take off sooner. It'll be greener and ready to go for next season. Now, lawn content's going to be winding down here on this channel here shortly because we're going to come into the end of lawn season. But make sure that you hit that subscribe button because I got a lot of cool things coming this winter with some new content, with some new partnerships that I set up at Equip a couple weeks ago. You won't want to miss it. So hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on that content I got coming over the winter and content coming into next spring when we get back into lawn care. Also, if you enjoyed this video, found it helpful, hit that thumbs up button, help that algorithm push it so other people can benefit from this information. And also drop a comment below. Let me know your favorite video that I did this season. That'll be kind of fun. And what kind of content you want to see on this channel going forward. I appreciate you watching this season, last season, and into next season. And I'll see you next time when I come out in the lawn.